Hello everyone, and with double XP weeks coming up in May, I thought I would do a little 4.0 double XP leveling tips for you. Pretty easy to level. I leveled the character just recently. It took me about 2 weeks to get from 1 to 65. Yes, you can get level 65 boosts, but they're expensive, and with the 2 double XP weeks coming up, you could level a fairly decent amount of characters with the following tips to get them from 1 to 65. Number 1 is get a companion at level 1. Okay, there are companions that you can pick up at level 1. The one that I used was Nico Okar. Now, if you were a subscriber last year when BioWare were doing the subscriber rewards thing, if you stayed subscribed before Knights of the Fallen Empire came out, you got a Nico Okar unlock, and you can use this at level 1. It's just in your mailbox. Just click your mail, find the Nico Okar mail, pick him up. You get like a little holo call thing, click the thing, and it'll summon Nico Okar, and you can keep Nico Okar. Now, if you don't have Nico Okar, weren't a subscriber, then you can use HK51 at level 1. Basically, you have to have him unlocked on another character that's in the same faction as the character that you're going to level. So you need another Republic character if you're going to level a Republic toon, or another Empire character if you're leveling an Empire toon. All you do, it will cost you, I think it's 1,000,000 credits, or I think it's 350 cartel coins to unlock him, that you have to do on that character. So either if you have the cartel coins, use them, or use the credits, send the credits over from your main to your alt, and you can get yourself HK51. You can also use any of the contracts that are available from the cartel pack, so you can have like the Nexu or the Akdog or the Core Slug or some of the droids. You can use them as well. They will work from level 1. What getting a companion at level 1 will do is allow you to breeze through the early game content. Not that it's hard, but you're just going to get through it quicker. The other tip is to take that companion at level 1 and get them to influence rank 10. Now, how we do this simply is there's 2 methodologies of doing this. One, we can get gifts from either the GTN or cartel packs, or what we can do is if you have an alt that's got a ton of common data crystals. I've got 3 alts now that have capped common data crystals, and what you do is you go to the vendor on Odesson on that alt and you buy the companion gifts. Now you can obtain companion gifts that method, cartel packs, or by doing heroic quests and turning in the the packs that you get to the alliance specialists, turn them into them, and you can get a bunch of companion gifts. Companion gifts are hugely abundant in the game, but if you want control over your companion gifts, what ones you buy, buying them from the vendor, I think they're like 25 or 50 common data, I think it's like basic comms, they're common data crystals. Get them on your all and ship them over either via mail or via legacy storage. And at level 1, what you can do is just go to your stronghold, summon your companion, and spend a bunch of time giving them gifts. Now, the reason I say rank 10, rank 5 will be fine. Okay, rank 10, it just means you never need to bother with them. And you never really need to bother with gearing or anything like that, because your companion will be so overpowered. Basically what they'll do is one-shot everything for the first 10 levels. Okay, so this is very, very fast method of leveling. We're not concerned about the game difficulty. We want the game difficulty to be as easy as possible, because we are interested in speed and efficiency, not challenge. Okay, so getting our companion to practically one-shot everything at rank 10. At rank 5, they'll still one-shot everything, but as you go later in the game, you might have to stop leveling and rank them up again. So with 10 influence, you're never really going to have to worry about things like gear for yourself, because again, if you use a tank or a healer companion, you'll probably never die at that level. I'd use a DPS for the first few levels. They just one-shot, literally go in, one-shot everything, DPS or tank, and it's just a quick method of leveling. So taking the time out. I mean, I would do this before double XP starts. You know, make the character go to your stronghold. You can travel to your stronghold and then make the just get the companion gifts and go for it that way. Just get them ranked up, ready for double XP to start. You can skip out of the first cutscene and, you know, go to your stronghold as soon as the game starts. Right, on to tip number 2. That is get a mount at level 1. Okay, and how you do this is you go to your legacy tab, and the option is there. I think it costs 42,000 credits, or I think it costs cartel coins as well. Just use the credit unlock method. Send your alt some credits. About 100, 150k will do. There's no reason to send them millions these days. But you could get that mount at level 1. To get a mount, again, any sort of mount that's rank 1, so any cartel mount that you can buy, you can pick them up cheap on the GTN. I'm sure that your main will have some lying around that are BOE or whatever, bound to legacy. You get plenty of them. You get the Sleen one from Ravagers if you do that, if you really want a mount. There's plenty of methods of getting mounts in the game. You can buy them from the reputation vendors for credits. They don't have a... I think they're all adaptive now. All mounts in the game were converted, with the exception of the Refer a Friend mount. And that's the mount I'd recommend you use, the Alliance mount, because it runs at full speed. It's going to be 110% mount. So if you get someone to click your Refer a Friend link, that's another little tip. But again, a mount from level 1 just gets you around the starter planet faster. Especially if you're a Jedi and on Tython, it's quite a big place, you know, so it cuts down on the travel time. And tip number 3 is to get your stock up on XP boosters. Okay, it's fairly simple, this one. XP boosters can be obtained from doing quests. If you were a subscriber when Knights of the Fallen Empire launched, you will get a free 3-hour one as well, a major XP booster. You can buy these from the cartel market, you can buy these from the GTN. They're available. You'll get some if you're leveling through your story, because you're going to have to do your story quest for at least the first 2 planets at least. And you'll get some when you reach major milestones in them. So XP boosters, 25% XP boost. Pretty nice. I think it doubles during double XP to 50% as well, so that is pretty good. Tip number 4 is to join a guild. Okay, 10% XP boost. Can't say fairer than that. Plenty of guilds are recruiting with the recent, what was it, patch 4.3. They added the doubling of the member cap for guilds, so plenty of guilds will be recruiting. If you check the starter planet, there'll be guilds out there that'll be recruiting, or even when you get to your capital world of Coruscant or Dromund Kaas, there's usually always a guild recruiting. You can get, you know, a 10% XP boost. It's fairly simple. It's just a flat boost that you get to your XP. And, you know, it's a simple one. Tip number 5 is I would play the story until the end of the capital planets. That's Coruscant if you're a Republic player, Dromund Kaas if you're Empire. The reason for this is that you're going to get your ship. Okay, we don't really want to be doing the story if we're just speed leveling, if we're just leveling as fast as possible. Story, quite inefficient. We don't have 12 times XP anymore, so it's very inefficient in terms of our XP per hour. However, it is worth doing until the end of the capital planet, because again, we get our starship, we can travel wherever we want, and we also get some XP boosters for doing our story quests as well, so you'll get a couple of freebie XP boosters. Tip number 6 is when you get to level 10, make sure you go to the fleet. Okay, going to the fleet and doing all of the quests on the fleet. Okay, check the mission terminals on the fleet. There's one for crew skills. Make sure you pick that up. It's like a 2-second quest. Click on all the crew skill vendors. Again, free XP. You get 600 XP for clicking on a crew skill vendor. It will double to 1200, obviously, if you are if you're double XP. So, you know, it's free XP just for clicking on a bunch of things. I'd also recommend doing the Introduction to Warzones quest. Okay, that one in particular. And the reason for that is you get a complete left side of your gear panel. The right side is like your armor and things like that. The left side is implants, relics, and an earpiece. You get all of these for doing Introduction to Warzones. Even if you don't like PvP, just queue for a Warzone, do the Warzone, get it over with, get your free gear, because it is the quest reward for it. It is two relics, 2 implants, and an earpiece. That's your reward for it. Pretty nice, actually. It's pretty nice. So you fill up that side of your... Now, if you're going to level via PvP, how the bolster works is it will only bolster you for gear that you have in the slot. So doing that introduction quest, getting all the slots filled, is a smart idea. Okay, it's quite a smart idea, and usually that's the thing, is implants, relics, and earpiece are the things. They don't really drop on the starter planets. You don't really get them until sort of the end of Dromund Cast, so getting them at level 10 when you can queue for Warzones is a smart idea. Now we're going to move on. Number 7 covers how we actually level, and the best method of leveling in 4.0, assuming we played to the end, the story until the end of Coruscant or Dromund Cast, is to do heroics. Okay, the heroic quests, which you pick up from a terminal on the fleet. I'd recommend before you start Coruscant or Dromund Cast, go to the terminal, pick them all up, and then finish the capital planet, Coruscant or Dromund Cast, and then go back and do the heroics. And the reason for that is that you get a lot of XP. Some of them are fairly quick, particularly Coruscant for a Republic player. Okay, 3 out of 4 of them are instanced. Okay, and the 4th one is instanced, but it is a bit of a pain in the arse. I'm talking about the face merchants here. That's the one we're talking about. But the other 3 are really easy. They're really quick. You get a lot of XP, you get a nice amount of credits, and you get boxes with blue gear in them that will be level appropriate. That's how we're going to gear. Okay, but by the time you've finished one set of heroics, don't forget Ord Mantell or Hutta heroics as well. You can do them. There's like a couple, there's about 3 on those starter planets that you can do as well. And those 3 on the starter planets share the same reward. Okay, so I would do them as well. Again, you get the blue box, and this is a primary method of gearing. As long as we keep completing these quests, what happens is you gain so much XP from completing those quests that you always unlock the next set. So on the Republic, by the time I had finished Coruscant, I was level 21, right? This is without double XP. I had Taris and Nar Shaddaa heroics unlocked, okay? So you just go to the fleet, pick them up, you click the fast travel button, it takes you right there. There's no need to bother with the story. Now, a lot of people said do flashpoints, and that was the best advice in 3.0. The problem with flashpoints is these days you might get something like Blood Hunt, which if you're low level is gonna suck, okay? And if you get a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing these days, tactical flashpoints are poorly balanced and a bit of a waste of your time, okay? Heroics are the new fast way to level. PvP is not a bad method as well. Warzones are not too bad. The Warzones don't pop that often, to be honest. My advice, do heroics while you're waiting in the PvP queue. Okay, that is what I would do. Don't forget to pick up the daily and the weeklies for PvP, or the PvE ones if you want to do some tactical flashpoints. But honestly, I don't recommend doing them these days. Tacticals are poorly tuned. Okay, they're very, very poorly tuned. So I wouldn't bother. Before, when we had 3.0, we only had 1 tactical flashpoint, and that was KDY, and it was pretty good. Kuat Drive Yards was excellent. Now you have every single flashpoint in the game. Okay, every single tactical flashpoint in the game. Some are easier than others, and if you want the bonuses for queuing, you have to queue random, really. So the odds are we'll probably get something that's a pain in the arse. So I personally don't really bother with doing them. Do the planetary heroics until you hit level 50, and then you can start doing dailies. You can do like the black hole. You can do operations when you hit level 50. Ops is the best method of leveling. You can queue for group finder for a raid. Don't worry about your gear, you get bolstered, and story mode ops are a joke these days anyway, so you can gain 4 or 5 levels by doing an op these days. Any op. The daily one, obviously if you're inexperienced with operations, don't do Temple of Sacrifice or Ravagers. That's what I would not recommend. Do Eternity Vault, Karaga's Palace, Scum and Villainy. Scum and Villainy in particular, 7 bosses in Scum and Villainy. That's quite good for XP. And, what's it called? Terror from Beyond are the ones I'd recommend. Dread Fortress, Dread Palace are alright as well. EC is, Explosive Conflict, But Ravagers or Temple of Sacrifice, I wouldn't as a new player. But if you're an experienced player, you can do them anyway. When you hit level 55, what I would recommend you do is do Shadow of Revan to get to 65, okay? Shadow of Revan is honestly far better for XP and credits than Knights of the Fallen Empire. So you can start Shadow of Revan at 55. You can still do raids, you can still do hard mode flashpoints. I don't recommend doing them either. But I would do raiding. You can queue for the group finder, you can join a group on the fleet if you want. You do gain a nice amount of levels. You don't have to worry about gear, of course, because you get bolstered, but for leveling the last sort of 10 levels, 55 to 65, Shadow of Revan is the best method. I would just avoid Knights of the Fallen Empire altogether. I just don't think it's very efficient XP-wise. Okay, Shadow of Revan, for 2 reasons. Number 1, you get a decent amount of XP. XP per hour is quite decent on Rishi. You can do the prelude as well. I don't know if you can still skip the prelude. I did the prelude. I gained 2 levels doing the prelude. So that's 3 flashpoints you got to do. 3 solo flashpoints. Quite good for XP. They do net you a nice amount of gear. You get like 168 gear for doing Shadow of Revan. Doing Rishi is fairly quick, and you get a lot of XP and a lot of credits fairly quickly. That's the main reason for doing this, is credits, okay? I hit 65 at the beginning of Yavin, okay? That's what I followed the story till. Level 55 I started, well, level 56 should I say, I started Shadow of Revan at. And when I finished at Yavin, halfway through it, really, I was level 65, and I had 4 million credits by doing Heroics and Shadow of Revan. That was my primary form of leveling. 4 million credits, okay? If I finished Yavin, which I didn't bother doing, so I hit 65, and then I did Ziost, I could have had over 5 million. You know, that is a nice amount of credits. I was also capped for common data crystals. I hit the cap, the 1,000 cap. Just by doing heroics. Didn't really need gear. You do occasionally have to spend you spend a little bit of your common data crystals. I wouldn't worry about spending them, to be honest. On filling in blanks, what I would recommend as well is get a set of orange gear. It can be legacy bound or non-legacy bound, doesn't matter. Just keep a full set in your inventory, just as a little, just to keep and make sure that you can at least fill them in with the green mods, at least. So I kept a main hand and an offhand. There I had, you know, a head, chest, gloves, belt, bracers, pants, boots is what I had. I used the pilot suits because I had one, but you can use any set of orange gear. And legacy gear, again, is available. The availability of legacy gear is ridiculous in this expansion. Again, if you've got a level 65, doing heroics and cashing in the boxes with the Alliance commanders gets you a companion gift and a legacy bound orange shell for gear. So you can use that as well. I would just, if you're, say your main hand is level 25 and you're level 32 or something like that, I would then go and update my main hand weapon by spending commendations. But it is very rare that you have to do it. You usually get most of what you need from doing heroics. It is random, so you will get a lot of repeat stuff. But you get so many boxes for the heroics. I was vendoring stuff, to be honest with you. You do that many heroics and you level so fast that you're always gearing. And, you know, obviously you're going to need crystals, color crystals are going to be a thing that you need. Recommend getting cartel ones as a recommendation, just it saves you credits extracting them all the time, because when you use a cartel one, it gets added to your collection and you can just vendor the piece of gear with the crystal in it and obviously just then redeem it from your collections instead of extracting it and spending credits. So that's what I'd recommend. In terms of what stat you need in it, power generally is the way to go. Power or crit, it doesn't really make a huge difference. Crit if we're doing a lot of level synced content. But generally while we're leveling, we will get synced occasionally, but I found that my power was too low to get synced. You know, my mastery and endurance got synced. Power was too low to get synced, so I use power crystals for leveling. What's it called? Hawkeye crystals. Hawkeye or Eviscerate, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. You can use endurance ones, I guess, if you really want to, but endurance does get capped, so there's another little tip for you. So anyway, I hope you found these tips useful. So thank you for joining me for this video, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.